Hello. How you doing? It's a full morning, isn't it? Something going on. All right. So I'm just going to go straight into it. As I bring this poetry that comes through to me, listen keenly and freely. Let images and words come and go. Let it flow over you, through you. Don't hold on, because there's a summary of 4 hours coming on strong in an 8-minute spoken song. All right. And I'd like to hear you two. My tradition is poetry as conversation. Something you like, give me a yeah, or an mm-hmm, or a that's right, or a yahoo. This poetry loves to hear you. All right. Laughing, crying, speaking out, that's what it's all about. Okay, here we go. You with me? Yeah! All right. Dancing, clapping the drums, what a welcome. Kenny and Nina, standing ovation. 25 years of Bioneers happening here on ancestral lands and all over the country, people taking a stand. Gratitude to all involved in this gathering and what it will bring, turning vision into action, getting your heart beating in the right direction. A welcome to the Aboriginal land, 6,000 years here. In strong communication with Mother Earth and all sings, then Coyote Woman sings grandmother's song. Then on to the sustainable muchery convention, economic brain damage that ravages our reality requires a transition that's never been done. California's climate disruption, policy and law leading the way. Renewables without nuclear are here to stay, and the myth of jobs versus environment is dismissed. What happens in California doesn't stay in California. I think that speaks for us too, doesn't it? The green bloc is spreading and won't stop. From the Roman Empire to present day, economic motives have been at play. Yes, we are back to basics, creating the conditions for life. 25 years on, the radical solutions keep coming on. Time to rapidly spread and scale, building the world wants. The coming years will make the 60s look like the 50s. I love that line. This ain't no mystery. We all got to rise, open our eyes, then Nina ties us back to relationships. Love that will uplift us beyond the Columbus sail. That's not something to take to scale. Evolution prioritized, social ties. The smartest are not those who get analytical thrills. No, it's those with the best social skills. Justice is love made public. Now that's a revolutionary yet ancient trick. Love, inner and outer, is medicine round about you, connecting disparate women, taking a step. Relationship is the strategy, emerging stronger, loving and more tall. Can you hear that call? Yeah! All right, reach out to reconnect, reweave the world whole. There's a future to build, and that's the goal, because mushrooms are the cellular bridges of the global immune system. 37% of our DNA, here's Paul's wisdom. Wearing a mycelium hat that can carry fire. How about that? Paul has been awarded for all of us, especially for John, his brother who is now gone, and for all the soil magicians, myceliums, the communication pathways that will have a say in the future that is possible from today. Mycelium for bees. Without it, it turns off their genes. They can't protect themselves, it seems, from mites, virus, and disease, and between sleep and awake and epiphany. Mushrooms can extend the life of worker bees and the longevity of colonies, creating an antiviral field, and we depend on bees for our food yield. We need a paradigm shift in our consciousness, so we're waking up to the spirit of goodness in every single breath. Then, on to the indefatigable Eve Ensler, breaking silence and forging political action, a talk coming from inspiration back to Eve, Adam, God, and sin, a story of beginning that has influenced so many of our trust in our own intuition. Remembering the story before Eve stopped to believe, when life generated life in all directions. The apple is the aphrodisiac of connection. Eve was held hostage in the wrong garden. Right? And the tree of knowledge is a mushroom. Yeah. Connecting to earth divinity without the Father as the intermediary. We all must be okay outside our Father's garden, which is the world from which we came. No shame. We do not need protection. That is not a reflection of the paradise we recognize that is already here inside. In connection with our green mother, our body is her body. In direct connection that transcends the need for compensation, transcends the desperation of turning to the perpetrator for a solution. Now we must all eat the apple, welcome the mystical, stand with our whistleblowers, indigenous people, brothers and sisters in Ferguson, David Snowden, dancing men and women, splashing solidarity and justice in every direction. Eve was a radical, inviting us to trust the erotic and mystical as much as the intellectual and political. This raises my nerve to shut up and serve and eat the fucking apple. It's time to get what we deserve. Oh my goodness. Then, wait a minute, then remember that incredible rap duo, letting words flow, hearts grow, people clapping the rhythm, then on we go, youth blowing off the roof, demanding action on climate change on the front line, leading the rearrange, calling us into our power as things go sour. The collapsing is this generation's invitation to arise. A standing ovation is no surprise. The largest indigenous delegation, take it in, all the tribal nations. The message is clear, we are still here. Honored in this moment, potent. Then thanks for coming from Marin. Nina and Kenny presented with a resolution in recognition of their contribution. Okay, then on to a young farmer with a rural vision, Severin, a land lover, explaining the jewel in the head of the toad. 400 million acres transitioning, that is quite a load. A transference of legacy and care. Marines sheltering piglets, weed dating, sexiest farming yet. Prisons serving food banks, sheep under grapes. Let's give thanks. Thanks a lot. It takes a lot to build a small business at $2 a pound. This is courageous and profound. Restoration, agroforestry, planting 10,000 trees. Check it out, he's single. Yes, please. So many incredible peeps starting with a handshake to make viable businesses that shake the foundations of the status quo. Quite literally, it's the future that they sow and grow, in contrast to 260 million acres of GMO. A history of inflection. We must change our institutions. The long memory would be a revolution. The National Farmland Commons as an institution of permanent organic farming, practices that are not harming but healing the land. The Agrarian Trust from France is the plan, helping people put fingers in the earth. Then climbing poetry, touching me. But poetry on poetry we don't need. You remember the feeling of being freed by spoken word you heard. Now, I missed the intro for Janice and Cecil as they wired me up to the mic. Married for over 30 years. That gives me some light. Out of breakdown, feeling humility, I define me. Connected to community through our wounds and suffering. From the ashes that cocaine and poverty can bring, we build new lives at Glide. Shame kills us. Cecil brings back voice, even though he has lost his afro. Overcoming reinforced humiliation by love unconditional, acceptance unconditional. Beyond traditional mediocrity, we get radical and do something critical. We do because we care. Self-love gives connection so we can build community with intention, seeing people clearly, caring dangerously, opening up to others in my own vulnerability, not saving the world, but helping change the world. Then suddenly it's achievable, not saving the world, but helping change the world. Suddenly it's achievable. Start with yourself, one life at a time, every individual in the line. Felons changing inside, so they serve in the community wide, the iron butterflies. Bioneers, we've begun, 25 years on. Open our eyes to the sunrise, getting wise. Spread your wings, it's time to fly. There you go. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.